Good afternoon, YouTube. Wheels here from Wheels Gone Wild, coming at you from Norfolk County, Ontario, Canada. I just wanted to touch base real quick, just kind of go through what I've spent the last week or so doing, and that's totally revamping and putting together my fire kit the way I want it. It's always been pieces here, pieces there. But I finally got myself a bag that I can use specifically for all my camping needs. It's a modular system where I've got the pouches attached to each other. So I finally got that finished. Big enough for my cook kit, my fire kit. Tie a house underneath for tarp. And, I'm putting together my extendable tarp poles as we speak, and I will, as soon as the weather turns nice, I'll go out there and show you how a guy in a wheelchair puts up a tarp. You can't guarantee that we can go into the woods and get to the same spots that you guys can. When you're in a wheelchair, you're totally you surrender to the terrain. If it's hilly terrain, you're gonna work for it. As long as it's flatter, where you can actually move around, you're going to have to work for it, work hard, but you're going to be able to do it. Anything past that, it becomes a real problem. Especially with having MS, my left hand is a little bit weaker than my right hand, so therefore I haven't got the proper strength to propel myself properly. So, I've developed, instead of relying on the ability to find two trees, without the ability to find sticks on the ground that I can use for poles, I have to carry my own sticks. I have to guarantee that my shelter, no matter what, is going to go up, just like you guys. Okay? So I've devised a little pole system for myself. It's going to go right on my scooter, and I'll be able to set up my tarp from my scooter. I've been working on this, guys. Been working on a fishing type of scenario, water procurement. It's been a busy summer for me inside the house. So here's my fire kit, guys. Without too much further ado, I want to show you something though first before we get started. This is an old hickory knife from Ontario Knife Works. It's the 7-inch butcher knife. I don't think that there is, I paid about $36 for it, Canadian. I don't think there's a better bush camp knife out there than this right here. It's super light. It's durable. I mean, it's made by Ontario Knife Company. I don't know if you can see their logo. Well, anyways, it's the 7-inch butcher knife from the old hickory lineup. Okay, super sharp. I mean, super easy to sharpen. It's a high carbon steel. I forget exactly what it is, but it's a high carbon steel. Strikes a ferro rod. All I had to do is just run the sharpener over the sharpening stone across here a couple times, and now I've got myself a 90 degree edge. So it was almost 90 degrees to start with. So now I've got a 90 degree edge. I can strike a ferro rod with a 35-inch everything knife. I mean, I can baton with this. I can cut my steak with this. I can do everything in between with this. I can carve with this. I can process wood, whatever. So there's my ferro rod, my knife, my fire kit. So what I've come up with, guys, is my entire fire kit is going to go into a waterproof bag. Because you never know here in southwestern Ontario from my area, it can rain at any time. And believe me, I've been caught in it many times. So it's going to be in a water bag, a dry bag. And there's going to be two parts to it. There's going to be the actual fire starters, the actual ignition sources, and tinder. Now the tinder is going to be made up of various things that I've picked up along the way. Some of the stuff has been given to me. I don't have any birch, so I had a friend of mine pick up some birch bark for me. It's very, very hard for me because I'm in a wheelchair and the train thing again to be able to find and process good tinder. So I plan on carrying quite a bit of selection of tinder myself. So inside here I've got, I don't know if you can see in there, I've got pretty well everything for tinder. I've got the wet fire tinders. I've got a striker just in case I lose my fire bag. Birch bark, wet fire. Now Mel, Mad Mel, thank you so much for the fat wood. My God, is that working beautifully? I've got a couple pieces of that fat wood. That's compliments of Mad Mel. If you haven't checked out her channel, it's Mad Mel's Bushcraft Adventure. Man, she is right on. She is rocking it. She has tripled her subs in the last couple weeks, about a month or so, and she is doing very well, super well. Go check her out. Mad Mel's Bushcraft Adventure. More than worth your time. So I've got birch bark. I've got jute twine. It's unnatural. You won't find this in the wild. I've got some really dry, almost fat wood. So I've got enough tinder here to guarantee myself a fire, even in wet conditions. Okay, with this much stuff, I don't think the word failure is there. So that's my tinder bag. Okay, I'm always going to keep this in my pack all the time. So that's going to go with me wherever I go. So that's 100% in my pack. Next 100%er is going to be my ignition sources. So I've got those in this bag. This homemade fabric bag that I made myself. I got a cord lock on it, but I've got all my ignition sources in here. Okay, I've got a lighter. Obviously, that's going to be your number one go-to. I've got strike anywhere matches that do strike anywhere. I've tried them out in a waterproof case. So I have guaranteed dry matches or guaranteed fire. Okay? Now, I've got my ferro rod attached to a little bit of fat wood here. This is compliments of Mr. Collier. Thank you very much, sir. I've used these. I've taken a little bit off with a knife, shaved a little bit off. Is it the best fat wood? No, but it's fat wood, and thank you so much. I also use this Speedy Sharp as a striker. It works beautifully every time without failure. Boom. Perfect combination. So I've got the spark ignition source, the bark, roughed up bark and stuff like that. Now I've also got sunlight. I've got here a small magnifying glass. So if it's nice and sunny and I know I'm going to be there for a while, I'm going to start fire. I'm going to start fire, an almost guaranteed way to do it. If it's a sunny day, magnifying glass, almost guaranteed. I mean, I've practiced doing that ever since I was little with ants on the sidewalk. Seeing how many I can burn. I've got a second ferro rod just in case I lose my first one. Or, by God, it rolls into the fire. That's not funny, sorry. I've got a magnesium block so I can shave magnesium to get that 4,000 degree plus fire going, or spark going, the ignition source. I've also got the cotton balls soaked in Vaseline. Okay, so I've got a handful of those. They work beautifully. Ingrid and I started the fire, the beginning of end of spring with that. And I've got stormproof matches, and you can let it, put it in water, take it out, and it'll burn. Put it back in the water, take it out, it'll burn. So these are stormproof matches, not just windproof, but waterproof as well. So stormproof. I've got some more wet fires here, and that pretty well rounds out my ignition sources. Okay, so I've got pretty well all the ignition sources covered here. So it's redundancy. It's 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 1. So between my dry tinder and my many possible ignition sources, I honestly think that for southwestern Ontario, where I'm from, this area, we're only about maybe 15 miles away from Lake Erie. I'm fairly confident that I can start a fire in any conditions. Okay, wind, rain, doesn't matter, and I've got it all in this little portable bag that I made. It's got a drawstring on it, and that's going to go in my pack all the time. So that's my fire kit, guys. Now, to show you, just give you an idea of the old butcher, the old hickory knife. I got my fire steel here, my fire steel holder. Beautiful piece of gear that is. Wow, that's handy. That attaches right to your belt. You never forget it. It's always with you. Now, this knife, the old hickory, and the 90-degree spine. Whoops. Okay, Dave, don't burn the house down. Bad wheels, but guaranteed sparks. This knife works. This fire steel works. So I've always got a fire. I'm going to start a fire attached to my body. So I've got my fire kit in my bag. Fire source guaranteed. I'll probably have a lighter in my pocket. Guaranteed fire ignition source there too as well. So I think I pretty well got my bases covered in all conditions. I've got my tarp now, so I can stay dry. I can stay out of the weather. I've got all my entire fire kit packed in a dry bag, and I think I'm good to go, man. If you can think of anything else, guys, that I would need to guarantee a fire in any conditions, snow, sleet, hail, rain, pouring rain, hurricane, doesn't matter. If you can think of anything else that I can add to my fire kit, either for a guaranteed ignition or a guaranteed tinder, please put it down in the comments down below. I thank everybody again for watching. You can probably see the Irish Zombie Nation patch and the Boreal Bushcraft Canada patch over there. If you guys got time, go check them out. They're the Boreal Bushcraft Canada. They've got that's their Facebook page. It's a great group. We got some really, really good people in that group. Irish Zombie Nation, I mean, the guy's right on. Go check them out. Go check them out, guys. This is Wheels, and I am out.